Say. Why have you been evicted from so many places? Can you tell me?
I'm afraid your information is incorrect.
I have the eviction notices. I have the court judgments against you.
I'm afraid you're incorrect.
Her name is Regina McElvain. According to her internet posting, she's the founder of Foresight TV, was a cable talk show host, and here she is in a skincare commercial posted on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Regina McElvain. I'm a freelance writer. I contribute to a number of women's magazines. My specialty is health and wellness and mental well-being.
But there's some important information about McElvain she doesn't like to talk about.
It seems like you're a professional deadbeat tenant. Is that right?
She goes in, pays a month of rent, and moves everything in, and stops paying and won't leave.
How long did she go without paying rent?
Over a year.
I think she should pay for it. Not only she should be evicted, I think she should be locked up.
For more than a decade, Regina McElvain has been moving from one place to another, often leaving or being forced out, owing thousands of dollars in unpaid rent. How much money are you owed?
$5,400.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money. I need the money.
Luz Peralta is a home attendant who struggles to pay the rent on her modest apartment in Washington Heights. She advertised for a boarder, says McElvain moved in, paid the first 2 months' rent, but is now 6 months behind. What are you doing to try to get her out?
I go to the court.
You go to the court?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how many times?
4 times.
4 times, but she's still here.
Mm-hmm.
When Luz recently taped a notice of the upcoming eviction proceedings on the door, McElvain wrote, "Not evicted. You now have the right to go to court, and I have the right to respond." Cindy Peralta, Luz's niece, says McElvain takes advantage of the slow eviction process in housing court.
She laughs at my aunt. She laughs at her.
Really?
Yeah, she laughs. She's like, I'm not leaving. You can't get rid of me.
How do you get away with this for so long? You just use the court system? You use the court system? You know that it's hard to get people out?
We recently confronted Regina McElvain after she left the apartment on her way to the subway.
Why are you 6 months behind in the rent here?
I'm not.
You're not? But you haven't paid this, Miss Peralta, have you? Have you paid her the rent?
I actually have.
We asked for receipts to prove that. She said her attorney would call us. He never did. She says, I paid the rent. Does she pay you the rent? No? After Regina stopped paying rent, Cindy did some research on the internet.
I found out that she's done this before, and we found 3 cases against her from other landlords.
When Fox 5 did some digging, we found Regina McElvain's history of being a deadbeat tenant goes back to at least the year 2000, when she rented here in Greenwich, Connecticut. Records show the landlord sued her for non-payment of rent, so Regina moved out. She then rented a room here in Westport, Connecticut. Once again, the homeowner took her to court and won a judgment for over $31,000.
You had a judgment against you for $31,000 in 2003, right?
No, that's not correct.
She also moved out of this Westport home owing $10,000 in back rent. Then she got judgments against her here in Southport, Connecticut, and at this other home in Westport. Next, she moved to Brooklyn, where the landlord of this Williamsburg apartment building had to take her to court to get her out.
The cost to us was significant. Between the legal fees and the lost rent, it was about $10,000.
The owner of this Brooklyn brownstone says McElvain gave her a sob story after falling behind in the rent.
She just, I've got problems. My husband is not supporting me. He owes me $700,000. And as soon as I get that money, I'll pay you.
Lucy Sykes eventually hired an attorney. It took months in housing court to get an eviction order.
How about Lucy Sykes in Brooklyn? You owed her almost a year's rent, right?
I'm sorry, you're very incorrect.
And the day she was evicted, owing almost $14,000, Lucy says McElvain came up to her and said,
"You are stealing my mail. I demand that you give it to me." And I said, "No, I'm not."
And the deadbeat tenant is now making the same charge in the Washington Heights apartment, where she's currently living rent-free.
The first thing she said was that somebody was taking her mail and her checks, and that's why she wasn't going to pay rent.
Cindy says McIlvaine also leaves the kitchen and the bathroom a mess, forcing Luz to clean up after her.
She leaves the dishes dirty and everywhere. And the police say she has the right to do that. We can't do anything about that.
Ms. McIlvaine, these are not rich landlords that you're ripping off. These are people who need that money to make the payments on their houses or their apartments.
I'm afraid you're incorrect about everything.
So into our Fox 5 Hall of Shame, we induct Regina McIlvaine, a professional deadbeat. Landlords beware. Luz Peralta is hoping the judge will grant an eviction order when they go back to housing court next week. Of course, McIlvaine could not pull off her long-running scam if the people renting her apartments or rooms in their homes did a background check on her, a lesson they've all learned the hard way. But you've got a story.